Welcome to this week's Yep Yeah Yes with Tamika and Marissa. This week we will talk about when somebody tries to sell you on yourself. But before we get into that, Tamika, how you doing, girl?
Good. I might have to do a quick edit.
Okay.
So if people hear like a pause and a not pause, I apologize. I'm gonna pause, and then we'll come back. Pause. And we're back.
On pause. Tamika, how's your cough?
I'm gonna have to start taking my Zyrtec again because, I will.
How's your week been?
My week has been okay. I mean, spent a lot of time, in the eastern part of Long Island, Montauk, and like working out there and stuff. So, how about you? How's your week been?
A little bit exhausting, but I got a little bit of break. So this week has been slightly odd because I don't know I'm in between some stuff right now. So it's in between my semesters at school, so I have a week off, and it's like my graduate school, not where I work. So I'm like able to kind of like look up and breathe for a second. I've been reflecting a little bit, and this week has been really, really odd, hence the topic for today.
Before we get into that, I just want to give you quick props without getting into full details and going on and on about it. But this past weekend was Mother's Day. It was your twins' confirmation, and it was your son's birthday. Your youngest son's birthday. I'm sorry.
First communion.
Mm-hmm. And your youngest son's birthday. And you threw, a house party with relatives from both sides of
across the galaxy.
Yeah. And the way that you put it together and that everybody came together and just had a good time, I just want to commend you for putting that together and really showing everybody a good time, making sure that your children knew that they were loved, and letting your family know that they were appreciated. So good job.
Oh shoot, thank you, homie. Hey, oh shoot.
All right, you're not gonna get that much from me, but
enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Oh my goodness, so funny. So listen to this. So okay, maybe because I'm I'm not gonna call myself an elder stateswoman, but I'm on my way there. I'm on the path. I'm well on the path. And every once in a while, because I think also because you and I have sales background, like we started out in retail, we did marketing, we're in sales, all this stuff, we've consistently worked with adults and have had to either hold court or guide conversations or stuff like that we are very much, when people try to talk to us that way, it's one of those like, you can't snow me. And like, oh, you're adorable that you're trying to do this. Right. Like, this is not your forte. This is not what you've been doing for a while. Like, you're adorable. I appreciate you. But, okay. You're self-serving and just call it what it is. Don't go beyond that. How do you handle these?
I'm going to let you talk a little bit more because I got to get my mind right. This was your topic. And I need you to bring up an example so that I can feed off of that.
Perfect example. At work, right? So scheduling for next academic year is coming up, placements, rotation of faculty and staff, and support staff, everything is kind of happening. And mama's in demand. Oh shoot! Oh, hey, mama's in demand. And it's so funny because I very much doubt that at the end of the day I have the say of where I go. But I guess when you got multiple offers on the table, a person might ask, hey, what do you think where your next year is? And it's so funny because I was told, I just don't think you would like that department. You just don't seem like you would work well with, the other faculty over there. It just doesn't seem like a fit for you. You'd want to stay here, right, in this department and kind of just, you don't want to be here. That's where I think right? You would support me on that, right? If I said that, because that would come from me. Like, you wouldn't even have to do anything. I can tell them that you and I met. And you're like, you're adorable. You're adorable and self-serving. And you don't really work that good.
Is it really about me or is it about you?
Is this really about me or is this about you? Exactly. But it's one of those things where, like, remember, like, all the sales training that we've had to have in our various, companies that we worked with, they always try to tell you always have to guide a conversation by letting someone else speak. And it's one of those, like, you're watching someone who's never been in sales, and they're trying to snow you, and you're like, oh.
I hate sales.
Oh. So do I. But, oh. Do you ever have those, like, oh, you're so cute?
I just, see, with me, is okay, so speaking of jobs and sales and stuff, one of the companies that we worked for back in the day, the only reason why I ended up doing that job is because I had an interview with a man who suggested I work for that particular department. So I had this guy. He didn't work in that department.
Right.
He was the head of, like, talent
and acquisition.
Talent and acquisition for minorities.
Right.
So his job was to bring black people into the company.
All
so
minorities,
he felt minorities. I'm sorry. But he went to black HBCU. I think his division, though, was, even though it's supposed to be people of color, he focused on black people.
Okay.
It's one of those things. It's like, good job, bro, but
Yeah.
You're going to HBCUs, but you're not going to.
You're focusing on black folk.
Right. Anyway, and it just dawned on me just now that that's pretty much what he was doing, and for all black people, I apologize. So anyway, he felt that I should work. Now I told him my background was marketing, writing. I told him I would like to work in the copyright division and work on, like, the manual and putting together the annual
marketing.
Yeah,
you would have been great there.
That's what I wanted to work in. He felt that I would be better suited as a sales rep in a division that didn't have any black people.
You filled two spots that he needed, a female and a minority.
Right. He didn't care about what I needed.
Right.
What I needed really was a job.
Yeah.
But I talked to him because he was head of talent acquisition.
Right.
About, where I think my skill set lied. I didn't think it lied in sales.
Right.
But lo and behold, that's where I ended up.
Yeah.
And it was like the worst job I ever had.
Ugh.
And so,
soul sucking.
Sometimes you have to be willing to say no, even if it means that you're going to have to sit and wait a minute. If somebody tries to sell you on whatever it is they think you should be. And it's funny we're having this conversation because I remember years ago, this is like 15 years ago,
right?
Maybe almost 20, me and you would always tell me the kind of guy you want for me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not the kind of guy I'm
you want. Yeah.
You're like, look how he dresses. He's so.
Yeah. I wanted a certain vision for you.
And I'm like, that ain't
for me.
That ain't, I like a guy that looks like he hangs on the beach. Shaggy hair. Or I like a guy that, like, with a Yankee cap and just chilling. I don't want a guy in a suit because that means I gotta match his fly, and I'm not trying to match that fly. I'm not trying to get dressed up every day.
Yeah.
I want to be comfortable, but then I'm looking at myself today. I'm like, I'm way too comfortable.
It's so funny because when as you're saying that, like, oh, I have to match his fly, but that's what I always thought you was fly. I always thought you matched that fly.
No,
you don't. But see, you don't. But that was my vision of that's how I view you. You can't tell me how I view you. How you view yourself is different. But that's how I always view you.
When someone tries to sell you on yourself.
Oh, shit.
Exactly. And that's my point.
But you also can't tell me how I view you.
No, you can't tell me. Yeah, I can't tell you how you view me. But I can tell you what I'm interested in, and that ain't it.
Yeah.
So, it's like, today's topic, I believe, can run the gamut. From work to even like family. You think about situations in your life where your family sees you
in a certain way,
in a certain light, sees you being one way, and you should do this and that and the other, and then they're surprised when
that ain't it.
Right.
It's so funny though, but I've always said this. I'm very, and I admit I'm very guilty of this. I am very quiet with my family. I let other people talk. And whatever they claim that their definition of me, I don't need to correct it because I don't need to give energy to it. It's not my problem what you view me as. I'm gonna still do me. So unfortunately, I let people's imagination run away with itself.
But that's not always good either.
No, it's definitely not. It has never been a good thing. But it's one of those things that I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to dedicate to helping someone else see what they didn't take the time to either ask me or talk to me about. But that probably goes in the other way too. If I want to forge a deeper relationship and let people really see me for what I need to take the time to advocate for myself.
And you always say that you don't really want to forge, but then you'll have a strong opinion about somebody's perception of you, which makes me think that you do care. Because you wouldn't have such a strong opinion and get rah-rah with me, not on the podcast, but offline.
Offline.
Rah-rah-rah.
Where's that energy when we was recording?
Right, exactly.
You always give me that look. Where was all this sauce and spice when we was recording?
Although that spice does come out a little bit, on the show. Which, and that's when I give you the look like, really? You sure you want to
talk like this?
You sure about that? I always you're regretting it.
I know, I say that all the time.
That's how I know you don't listen to the show.
No, because I'd be getting depressed.
If you listen to the show, you'd be like, you'd be censoring yourself every week. Because you'd be like, okay, you would know what to pick up on.
I listen to the show. Unfortunately, I just don't learn. I don't learn. And it's so funny because I go into a depression because I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Why was I
You have to say it though.
Blah, blah, blah.
I mean, we both have said things and kind of regret it, but
it's so hard because I'm talking
learn to live with regrets.
I'm talking to someone who I'm overly comfortable with.
That's
my problem.
It's funny that I was talking to a relative of mine about exactly that. Mm-hmm. That this is it's like the gift and the curse of this podcast, because I think the podcast is really good, but it's really good because we know each other, we're comfortable with each other,
there's
and
certain
we're talking
rapport.
like we're not recording.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so sometimes we have to catch ourselves, and there have been times where we've had to edit, make a change because things slipped out.
Change.
Anyway.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
But back to the topic at hand. So when someone tried to sell you on yourself,
yeah,
has there ever been a situation where someone tried to sell you on yourself and then you realized they was right?
I'm going to say no because I'm self-deprecating and very negative when it comes to me.
So what do you mean by that?
Because I never think that I am, my definition of success, I'm like, I'm not really there. The definition that I had for myself at this stage in life, I'm not really there. And I don't recall a conversation ever with someone who felt like your X, your Y, and your Z. And I was like, oh, shoot, I guess that is.
Right.
But I'm also the type of person, you could gas me, and I'll walk away and be like, liar, and then forget about it. Because it didn't fit into the whole, negative, self-deprecating, self-centered version that I have for myself. Everyone hates me, no one believes in me. My story is that, I'm the underdog. I'm the black sheep. But
you've always, since the day I met you.
Yeah, it's probably so far from the truth.
Since the day I met you, you said that, and then I started to meet your family. I was like, that's on her.
This bitch is lying.
She's
I had one of my aunts.
You're so full of it.
I know. That's just how I feel.
Everything you told me about yourself.
You liar.
From the day, so the very first time when I picked you up, you stood on the corner of your street.
Yeah.
Like you was catching a bus.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, your place wasn't good enough for people to see.
Yeah.
I go there, I'm like, bitch cooking me chicken and shit. Have a seat. I'm like, why? It was just crazy. I had never cooked a day
in my life, and you're like, wow, you made this really good. Like, really? It's the first time I've ever cooked my whole life. And you're like, what? You look like you knew what you was doing. Like, well, I did not. I remember that. It was rice, beans, and chicken.
Yeah, I walked in. The rice needed a little help, but you came a long way. Years later, you perfected it. It's good now. But I just thought it was funny because the whole idea of what you presented to me did not match.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in that beginning of our friendship, I was selling you on who you really are.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You weren't believing it. So I personally believe that it's possible on both ends.
Yeah.
So when someone tries to sell you on yourself, sometimes it's a positive.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
You got to take it, both ways.
Yeah.
Definitely. But that like who you envision yourself to be, who you told me who you were, didn't measure up. I'm like, I don't understand. Like I was so confused. Everything about you, everything. Like you would tell me about Tortola, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting into here. I go there and it's like, it's just like paradise. That's not how you describe it though. I don't know. You have a way. You like certain family members. You like prepping me. Yeah. And I meet them. I'm like, I feel like they're my family.
They're lovely.
It's just weird. So I have to sell you on yourself sometimes. I believe
all the time.
I definitely believe that.
It's so funny because like I have some aunts, some of my aunties. The way they speak is just so complimentary. And I've never really, like, sometimes, like, if they're talking bad about somebody, or not even talking bad, they're like, whatever, look at this one. They're goofing, and it's never really like, oh, I can't stand her. They're like, look at this one, whatever. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her. She got something brand new. Oh, look at her. Look at her. You know? But it's like, they talk to you, and they gas you up.
It's not mean-spirited.
No, not at all. But the way they talk to you, they gas you up so high. You know, like, you're like, you sitting there in that moment, you're like, this cannot be real. Like, you're the most loveliest, you're the most beautifulest, you're the greatest at everything. Everything you touch is magic. You've got stars. And you're like, yeah.
That's an example right there. When someone's trying to sell you on yourself, and you sitting there not believing them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like, you've met these ladies, like, you met my aunts, like, you're sitting there, you're like, how do you not feel good? And you like walk away, and you're like, I don't know.
I don't know how. I don't understand it.
I don't know.
Because you know what it is? We're like every other person in this world. You want that affirmation and confirmation from specific people. You know what I mean? There's certain people you want to hear that from, and there's other people where you take it for granted. For example, my mom can tell me she's so proud of me, I'm special. It's like, yeah, well, you're my mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're supposed to say that.
Yeah.
It's like you take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know, like, but then somebody else, like some stranger, somebody at your school, the principal at your school tells you you're amazing, tells you the exact same things that your aunts tell you. You'd be like, oh my god,
I'm so fly.
Your collar.
I'm cocky fresh.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's like we as humans take the things that people try to sell us on. Yeah. And I don't even know if it's sale, but the things that people tell us about ourselves, we believe it when it comes from certain people. Yeah. No, you're right. When in actuality, it's been told to you all the time by somebody else. So I think you got to work on that.
You got to work on that too.
I'm
You're
good.
the same way.
I'm not. No, my mother, I just admitted that. But everybody else, I take it. You tell me, okay.
Okay.
I believe it.
All right, then. Oh, okay.
I believe it. You sell me on myself as long as I believe it. Does that make sense? When someone tries to sell you on yourself.
As long as you believe, that's all that matters. You know who's the worst when you're fishing for a compliment because you need to feel a certain way about yourself?
Do you do that? Oh, yeah, you do that.
I fish all the fucking time.
But so you fish a lot when it comes to your appearance. Yeah, and all the time. Like, my goal is not to feed into that.
I know. I very much know.
I'm not playing that game with you. I'm not, because it's like it's a long trail of discomfort that will later be thrown in my face. So I'm just not, You're
like, well, how do you feel?
Exactly.
Well, what do you think?
What I think doesn't matter. Yeah. And so you like, these jeans make me look skinny, right? I'm like,
well, do you feel skinny? And I'm like, I fucking hate her.
I'm not playing that game. I don't like the weight gain and the weight game that people play.
Yeah,
how do I, the appearance, only time I'll really give somebody a compliment about their appearance, it's like I'll notice when somebody gets their hair done.
Yeah.
Like that for me is like my uncle gets his hair cut, like, ooh, you got a haircut.
Yeah.
The guy from one of my reps shaved all his hair off, and I said to him, I was like, oh, the Knicks didn't win the lottery, so you shaved your head? And he busted out laughing. Because number one, I'm recognizing that he shaved his head.
Right.
And two, I'm recognizing that he's a Knicks fan.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
It's like things like that. So that's what I try to be intentional in that way.
Mm-hmm.
But like I had a coworker when we used to work at Sam Goody. She was an assistant manager, and then she went and she ended up working in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
I like years later. It's like she left Sam Goody, and we both were in the music industry, different labels. But I didn't know that she was in the music industry, and so we ended up at a concert where both of our acts were playing on the same venue. And she comes up, I didn't recognize her because she had like gastric or something.
Oh wow!
Like she's like my weight.
Oh wow!
She lost
a lot
of weight. She's like, hey Tamika. I'm like, hey, and then she tells me her name. I was like, oh my god, how are you? I'm sorry. I really, it's dark in here. I was stuck with names, but I didn't want to be like, girl, you done lost 200 pounds. You know what I mean? It was just weird.
I always wonder about the skin when you lose weight like that.
Well, don't they say you cut it, you get a surgery?
All those scars though, everywhere.
Look, you're talking to somebody that got scars.
If you lose weight slowly, no, I mean like you're being cut, so like all that has to heal on top of all of your organs and your body working. Like that's you're cut here like a paper doll. I'm curious, like if you lose weight slowly, does your skin begin to like gain elasticity and not?
Do you know anybody that had that surgery? Because we can have them on.
I don't think so.
They might not be willing to talk about it though.
So what's your skin situation?
I do know some people that have had it though, but I don't feel comfortable asking them to come on the show to talk about it. Been a struggle.
It's been a struggle.
For some people. Some people it's easy.
Other
people,
Remember my friend Big?
Yeah.
They had the sleeve done. Got depressed and gained it all back.
This is a guy?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see this person after the surgery?
No, I haven't.
It was like word of mouth?
It was word of mouth.
Wow.
I'm
you know how I feel about surgery. We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
Why would you elect to, like, this come from somebody who's had multiple surgeries?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have surgery just to make myself look good. It's just go on a diet. I mean, it's whack to say that. It's insecure. I mean, it's insensitive. It can be.
Insecure.
It can be insensitive of me to say. And that goes to selling someone on when someone tried to sell you
on yourself.
It's like it's easy for me to tell somebody else, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't built for the gym.
No.
Everybody ain't built for a salad.
Yeah.
They'd rather just get the surgery, and if you're gonna have to eat a salad, you can't get the surgery and just be like, I'ma still eat 3 Whoppers.
I can't. Yeah, they lost weight. The big right, lost weight, and like went into a depression like 3 months after this like big weight loss, gained it all back, every single stitch. But like gastric sleeve, like that's permanent, right? Like that shit is over your stomach, and
I really can't speak on that because I don't know there's like so many different.
Oh yeah,
I don't know the difference between one from the other. All I know is that you gotta, and at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. But ask yourself, is that really gonna make you happy? Like, why don't you get to the root of why you got this way? What is it that was you always depressed?
Yeah.
And now it's just easy to pinpoint it because you don't have the weight to fall back on?
Yeah. That's a tough one. Everybody, like, what do you say? You're addicted to your story.
Addicted to your story. Iyanla Vanzant.
You're addicted to your story.
Addicted to your story.
It's crazy how people are addicted to their situations.
We all are.
Yeah.
We all are. I mean, it just...
I don't want to be. I want to grow and prosper and develop and grow and just be the best version of myself.
When has there been a situation where somebody told you what they thought of you and what decisions you should make, and you took that advice?
I feel like never.
Really?
I mean, like, things like, I go to you, like, homie, what do I do? You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, hold up a second. And you're
trying not to give too much.
You pull receipts.
I give advice, but...
No, you give advice, but the thing with you is that you pull receipts. So...
Do I?
Ooh, yes. You have such a good memory. You pull receipts.
I really don't have a good memory.
But you
I don't remember
though.
a lot. I remember certain things, but...
But sometimes, like, you're like, oh, I don't know, I gotta think on this one. And then you'll be like, then all of a sudden you have your folio of receipts. And you're like, do you remember? And then I was thinking about it, and do you remember X, Y, and Z? And you're like, oh,
once I start remembering, don't ask me don't tell me we went to dinner last week.
Oh, yeah, no.
I'll be like, oh, no, we didn't.
In 1945, do you recall?
But I will remember certain details. Somebody said to me the other day, they're like, remember we went out, we had my friend Missy. She was like, yeah, we went, and remember the pizza and like going, I was like,
no.
And then all of a sudden she said one word that triggered me. I was like, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden I remember the entire night from that moment on. It's crazy. So my memory is like, it's weird that way, but
no, you know what's so funny though? I guess because I'm addicted to the story of that ain't nobody know me.
Mm-hmm. You don't know me.
You don't know me. You don't know my situation. You never met me. You never been to my house.
Wait, we gotta go from the beginning.
Hold on.
You don't know me. You never met me.
You never been to my house.
I don't think she said never. Did she say never been to my house? So watch what you say, baby girl. That's all I'm saying.
Watch what the fuck you say. So whenever Whitney Houston on Wendy Williams.
Whitney. Yeah.
No, Whitney Houston.
No, I was saying the long depart. I said, but Wendy's not departed.
No, she's not departed.
She's departing her husband.
Oh shoot, she is. So I sometimes when I'm telling people like every once in a while I'll mention, because I'm very quiet. I just don't. This sounds so silly when I'm on a podcast spewing my guts out, but then I keep saying, oh, I'm so private.
You're not private.
Not on this thing. But with other people, I really don't make mention too much of what I'm doing.
Right.
So when somebody, like, when I do make mention, they're like, oh, you should do X and Y and Z. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll look into that. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that, because no. So I'm very hard-headed on top of, no.
Yeah. I don't know. We all got some shit.
I remember when I, like, not to bring in vitro, but my story with in vitro, when I remember a few people, I just decided to like take the shame out of it, and I talked about it ad nauseum.
Oh my god, it was so annoying.
I know, but it made me feel better.
That's what's important, though.
That's what was important to me. And I remember people kept telling me, you just have to stop trying. Like, oh, that's what I'm doing wrong. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. What's your name? Everybody got advice, you know what I mean?
You just have to stop stressing out. You just have to stop trying, and it'll happen.
Now, it's weird, because now I get a lot of questions, well, not questions, but assumptions from people. Oh, you didn't want kids? Like, because somebody doesn't have children doesn't mean they didn't want children.
Them. Yeah.
And so it's like, in the beginning, I used to be awkward. Like the other day, like 2 weeks ago, I'm like cleaning out my trunk, and I still have these damn IVF needles. Girl. That I remember. It was like a while ago. I told you I need to get. I don't even know how to get rid of them. Like, I got to take them to a hospital, but it's like, it's a process.
It is, yeah.
You know, like, you can't. I want to just throw them in a box and throw them away. I really do. I just, like, at this point, I'm just like over it. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm asking my uncle about it. He's like, why do you have so many needles? I was like, because I was trying to get pregnant a few years ago, and they gave me too many needles. And he's looking at me like,
I don't know where to go with this. Oh my God!
He's like, oh, okay. He's looking at me like, oh.
I can just hear his inner voice is me. I don't know where
he looked like he was very uncomfortable, but at the same time, he was just like not trying to be like, he's like, yeah, I get it, yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally understood.
He's like, yeah, I think it's just the fire department.
I hear someone's calling me. I gotta go over here.
So yeah, it was but it's like one of those things where you at one point had diarrhea of the mouth. Like I remember we went to Starbucks one time and you're like telling this woman about your IVF doctor. She only just wanted to get her a little mocha frappuccino.
No, you know how that started? Because I have twins.
Right.
And everybody would be like, oh, do they run in your family or husband's family? And I'm like, they run with Long Island IVF. Like, I already knew what that question was. Every time you said
that, I was like, oh, we about to sit down.
No, because you know what? That question to me was so offensive. Because it's not like, I have a boy. Oh, does your family have a lot of boys? Or does your husband's family have a lot of boys?
I don't think she said it like that, though. Because she was trying. Because you gave her the advice and she
was trying, and we did end up going to the same fertility specialists. Right. Yeah, the group. So we were talking about it, but a lot of
everybody's intention is not everybody's educated on it either.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think a lot of people understand IVF and IUIs and all. They don't. Yeah. You know, it's like especially people that have children.
Yeah.
They like. Why would you? This goes back to our last show. When adults need to educate themselves about other cultures, they also need to educate themselves about things they don't know nothing about.
Yeah. I just figured, like, why would you ask me that question? There's twins in front of you, so somehow they got here. It wasn't like, I got this growth on my leg. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, but if somebody says, do they run in your... I don't think it's... I just, like, you just don't know. Like, some people don't know about IVF. They're like, does it run in your family or your husband's family? I don't think it's a bad question, but... Yeah. You know, you just like to educate people. Like, you're offended. Yeah. I just always knew back then, like, okay, let me make myself comfortable and just sit in the cut. And
you're like, oh, check out over here.
And I'd be playing with them and like, hi, hello, how are you? You know.
I still do that shit, though.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you know what, though? I remember somebody, when I first mentioned, I think I was 28 maybe 29, and I said I'm doing some tests with my GYN to see if I need to go to a fertility specialist. And I remember at that point they're like, don't tell anybody that you're doing that, though. You don't want to be embarrassed. And I was like, oh, you done told the wrong bitch the wrong information.
You know what's funny too? The stigma. If you think about the stigma 10 years ago,
yeah,
it's not the way it is today.
No.
Like, I mean, it's not a good enough excuse or, you know, whatever,
right,
for that person's ignorance.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I don't think if you had those babies today, right, I don't think somebody would ask you, do they run in your family?
No, they wouldn't.
It's just different today.
It is very different. It is. So, and I just remember that moment I said, and I'm not a vocal person, I remember saying, but I'm not ashamed.
Right.
They're like, yeah, but you're 20 something. I remember I was young in my 20s, and it was just like, yeah, but you're in your 20s, and, you know, there could be something wrong with you. What if, you know, and I'm like, this is my life. This is what it is. And I remember I got naturally pregnant with my younger son, and I remember somebody saying to me, like, oh, that always happens. Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, number one. And it was like, I wonder what was wrong with you before.
Offended. I just remember you being so upset about it.
Yeah.
About people's reaction.
Yeah.
But sometimes people say things out of a number of things. It could be ignorance. It can be insecurity.
Yeah.
It can be a number of things.
Yeah.
You just can't blame somebody on a statement. You know what I mean?
I hate you.
I remember when you told me my reaction wasn't what you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And you telling everybody this other person's reaction, that person really was happy for me. I'm like,
it was
really,
Lieutenant
bitch?
Colonel Awesome. I know.
Like,
Lieutenant Colonel Awesome was like, oh my God, I'm so excited for you. And I was like, oh my God, the reaction, I want it.
And I'm like, I was just shocked.
My whole life, he's the only one who's that happy.
I was like, I could not believe, I was flabbergasted, because I'm like, I'm so happy for this bitch, and because my reaction does not match the next person's reaction, now I'm whack.
We all got the same energy, though. I know.
Oh, you know me. You know I stay laid back. Like I
know.
Like like I go see Mary J, who's my favorite artist. Mm-hmm. You excited to see? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like that.
No, you say, no, I'm not excited, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Like, oh my God. I don't even say, are you excited
I don't
anymore.
think I would say I'm not excited. But I would say I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the only time I really get excited, like I was excited to go on the cruise that I went.
That was amazing.
Like I admit, I was excited about that.
For that one, yes, I was
excited about that. You know?
Yeah.
Was I excited about doing today's show? No. Looking forward to it though. You know, just get it out the way, knock it out. You know.
Gosh.
But you can't be. Everything can't be exciting. Like I don't want to be that. We know somebody that everything is fantastic, great, wonderful. No, everything is not fantastic, great, and wonderful. There's some bullshit out there, right? I'm just saying.
Oh my word.
Anyway, can we transition?
Oh, yep. That's trending.
You don't remember what it's called? This is your topic.
Your reality ain't my reality.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. You're always yelling at me, though.
It's your topic.
You're always yelling at me, though.
So? You always say I'm not excited.
Match that energy somewhere else.
Yeah.
Question for you.
What?
Do you like reality shows?
Don't ask me a stupid question.
Oh, my word.
Of course I like reality shows. I love them. I watch them every day.
Do you?
Along with the oldies. Golden Girls and...
Do you like The Bachelor?
No, never. I don't think I've ever watched the full season. I've watched like a few episodes, like in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm. Did you see that Kelly Ripa thinks the show is like, I don't want to say trash, but she's just not a fan of it.
Let me just say this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
About Kelly Ripa.
It disgusts
She's
her.
two-faced. Okay?
Oh.
I agree with her opinion, but this is the same bitch that had a chart for years. When it was her and Michael, they'd have a chart and they do the whole thing. They have all the contestants come on the show. She watched the show.
She did.
And now you got a problem?
When did this change?
Well, the damn Me Too ever, okay? The damn Me Too ever, okay? Now she got a problem. Like she didn't have a problem back when Homegirl, what was the one that married the fireman?
No idea.
I can't remember. Trista.
Okay.
I didn't watch her say Trista. They've been the ones that've been married for like almost 20 years now.
They got like babies and
They got
shit.
babies.
Yeah.
You had a problem back then. She would always talk about it, but now it's like she's against it. It seems.
Yeah.
To me. But I agree with her comments. It's just coming from the source. It's like,
shut up.
When someone tried to tell you about yourself or sell you on yourself.
So who was it?
Do you know what Kelly exactly said?
Give me one second.
I mean, she
admits the show disgusts her.
She said the show disgusts her?
Yeah.
But she watches the show.
Yeah.
And like I said, she had a chart for years when it was live with Kelly and Michael, when it was live with Regis and Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
She was... That's like what she did.
I remember that.
When they do the Halloween show, like
didn't she
dressed up as Chris Harrison?
Oh my gosh.
And she was like with the rose and Art Moore and you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. But then, but this is the one thing that I'm like I don't understand. So Chris Harris said, "Look out, Bachelor Nation! At Kelly Ripa. Oh, Kelly Ripa's coming after you and your disgusting Monday night habit."
I actually found her quote.
Okay.
It said on Tuesday's episode, she said, "Guys, you know how I feel about this show. It disgusts me." And I thought that I was disgusted because I couldn't stand the idea of 25 exceptional women fighting over one ordinary fella, in my opinion. You know how I feel, ladies. You are too special to be arguing over a guy. You didn't say that 10 years ago.
She did not.
You were sitting there watching it, having the bitches and the fools and the...
bitches and the fools.
Bitches
on
and
a chart. On a chart. The bitches and the fools on
I was
a
about
chart.
to call the guys another name, but, I couldn't... I don't... It doesn't... Anyway.
Yet I digress.
She was parading them on the show each week.
Yeah.
So it's like...
And don't they come on her show?
Yeah, that's what I just said. She parades them on the show each... As early as today, she had the girl on the show, the Bachelorette.
But does she have say in who comes on the program?
Well, I think she does now after she gave the show a hiatus when Michael didn't tell her he was leaving. Remember, she walked off the show? So I'm pretty sure she has a say. She's an executive producer of the show.
Okay.
I'm sure she can, if she don't want somebody on the show.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right, then. Oh, all right. But Ellen Pompeo apparently jumped into this ish.
What did she say?
She replied to someone called Mike Fleecemeister. Says, easy at Kelly Ripa. The Bachelor franchise pays your salary. So Miss Pompeo said, okay, Fleecemeister. That's some handle, bro. Your show does not pay Kelly Ripa's salary. Also, we don't attack successful women on our network, and men certainly cannot take credit for their success. Don't get me started on your show, because I'm savage. Hashtag Bachelor so white. So white.
There's a few things to unpack here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay,
so
there's a few things.
First of all, Ellen Pompeo, I agree with her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that, you know how many people always trying to talk about, I pay your salary. Really?
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
No, you really don't, boo.
No, you don't.
Like, and I used to be a Kelly Ripa fan, okay? And then that whole thing with Michael Strahan went down, and I was like, I'm not feeling her. Like, it just, she was way too over extreme with it. Now I don't even watch the show. They done got Cornflake Ryan Seacrest on there. And
yeah.
The show is just too
much.
So I don't watch it anymore. But anyway, but I also believe that she is a strong female who's pulled herself up and used her gift of talk.
Are we talking about Ripa or Pompeo?
Kelly Ripa.
Okay,
She's used her gift of talk to make her money.
Right.
She basically put her mouth where her money is, or money where her mouth, whatever the phrase is. She pulled herself up. Like, the show survives because of her. Right. And she's proved that she doesn't. It's about her, not the men. Right. You know what I mean? Michael's not there. The show's still doing good. Yeah. Right. If they get rid of Ryan and she brings somebody,
it's still going to be good. Yeah.
Ryan and another female is not going.
Ain't gonna work out.
It ain't gonna work out
unless it's me and you.
I'm not trying to be with him like that. I don't want to.
I think. I don't know if it's just me because I'm weird, but I think I would end up being so mean to him.
You would.
I would, right?
But see, you're mean.
But like the ha 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 ha.
Yeah, you're like that's
trying
how
to be
she
jokey.
is.
Trying to be jokey, but it would be one of those like you really kind of don't like him, right? And no.
That's how I feel she is. A lot with guests.
Yeah, she's like that with
But anyway, so back to what I was saying though, it's like, Bachelor does not pay her bills.
No.
She don't have to. I hope she never has another Bachelor contestant on the show.
Yeah.
Now, with Ellen Pompeo, I like the fact that she's sticking up for her and, brings up the point that we're on the same network, bro. Shut the hell up. The problem is, like, now she done made it about race. Just because you're married to a black man, like, everything ain't about race. And this is coming from a black woman. Okay?
But you know what, though? Here's the thing.
Wait, what's the last phrase? What's the last thing she said?
Bachelor so white. Don't get me started because I'm savage. Bachelor so white.
That's another topic.
Yeah, it is another topic. It had nothing to do with this. But you know how people is.
No, people, it's like these white women that get with black men, all of a sudden they think they can, like,
use the black Shiro.
Yeah, like, okay, now you invited to the cookout?
My amazing white savior.
Thank you, we appreciate you,
Your barbecue's over there.
Your barbecue's over there.
No, but Ellen Pompeo has said before that this has come up, and she has made mention she has black kids, so her coming to the cause. Don't come at her about coming to the cause. So I will.
But this has nothing to do with black people.
This
or white people. It's a total.
Yeah. It's a non-mother effing factor.
You know what? I think about Yara Shahidi, who she's from Grownish.
Yeah.
She was on The View the other day, and she's so well spoken. She comes across very educated, well read. I believe she's going to Harvard.
Yeah.
Gabby, her and Malia,
of course.
Obama,
yeah.
Like, whatever. Anyway, she said something when Joy asked her what issues were the most important to her, and she basically, could be her mother, and I'm not going to be able to articulate it as well as she did, but she basically said that there are too many issues that I care about to prioritize one over the other. But, and I'm like,
girl,
like
slow clap, 80s slow clap.
Because it's so true.
Yeah.
The problem with Ellen Pompeo is like, yeah, we know there's a white black issue, a white Hispanic issue, a white Asian. There's a lot of there's an issue with white versus people of color.
We got issues.
This is not what they're talking about. Like this has nothing. This is about just women.
Yeah.
I mean, we can get into all. I just don't be trying to confound all this other stuff on top. Like, oh, while I'm at it, let me slip this in. You know, I'm surprised she didn't mention abortion.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised she didn't mention that.
Oh my gosh.
By the way, Alabama, you know, like
I got my eye on you.
Probably was the next tweet though.
My brother went to college over there.
Where?
In Alabama. Yeah. For I think. Wait, no. Did he? He did. No, he did training. I think there. I don't know what he did.
We were talking about. I know we weren't going to really talk about it, and you had mentioned, you know, might be too heavy, but you know, our show. There are no limits. There, like, even though we start off, we're not going to talk about this and the other. And I think we pretty much held standard, like having respect for particular family members to an extent. You know, not talking about certain things to an extent. But I think we wouldn't be true to ourselves if we didn't mention certain things from time to time. Not about getting heavily into religion or politics or anything like that, but fuck Alabama. Okay?
Oh my goodness.
Like, really? Y'all gonna just, like, you see? I mean, really? And so now, they wouldn't outlaw, I don't even know what to say.
So okay. I don't want to say I'm a proponent for abortion or I'm not. That is not what I'm saying. I think there are many reasons why anyone has the right to elect to do with their body that they choose. From a religious standpoint, I'm not going to get into because it's way too in depth and it's
not right. This is not about religion.
It's not about religion.
This is the United States of America. We're all religions.
But my thing is, there's so many complications when it comes to all of this. It's more than just you. I just don't understand how government is here to regulate what I can and cannot do with my own personal physical self. The choices that I'm able to make. And don't come at me with the whole adoption and because you know what? Sometimes that doesn't always work out. Do you know what monsters live in this world? And you're just
foster care. You hear about foster care?
Monsters.
The majority of foster care homes, I'd like to believe are safe.
Right.
And
I would like to believe
the kids go in and out of them. You don't hear
with holding trash bags. There's a foundation to give kids in foster care a proper suitcase. Why is that? But you know what? I don't want to even get into that. And then okay, so then for whatever for now, not even for a medical reason, I'm able to elect to save myself. I can't save myself for a medical reason. I just don't understand how that's fair.
I read an article today and somebody was questioning it. They're like, so let me get this straight. An 11-year-old is raped and becomes pregnant. You saying she gotta keep the baby? That's what you're saying. So let me get this straight. A woman is gang raped on the side of the road. You saying she gotta keep the baby? Word? Okay. So, but I want to get this straight. You're not gonna have any kind of you're voting against any kind of assistance, healthcare, women and what is the WIC called? Women
and infant children.
You want to strike that down. You don't want to give any assistance afterlife. You know, oh, that's too much money. You want to get rid of assistance afterlife.
Do you know the looks? You ever see someone with an EBT card paying at a grocery store and the looks that they get?
I know.
I'm so glad
though that it's a card now.
Yeah.
Where you swipe it like a credit card, because there was a time
where it looked like it was like almost like money. It had like,
that's what I was gonna say. There was a time where I had food stamps. You know, long time ago, where it was the paper food stamps and like colorful. It was like Monopoly money. Yeah. Basically, and it's like it's embarrassing. And then, God forbid, you go somewhere and they're like, you hear stories like, I can't believe they take that in the deli. I can't believe they take that in a bodega.
So you're not supposed to feed yourself?
It's like, you shouldn't be allowed to buy corn chips.
How dare you?
I've heard people, the way that they've spoken.
How dare you?
So you want to, I mean, we're getting off the subject, but, you know, I just circle it.
Oh, but hold up a second, though. But you're fat, diabetic, with gout, gangrene, and can't walk, but you're allowed to ride a scooter to get your groceries and buy high, over-processed, sugary items. But God forbid your medical doesn't cover your oxygen tank, your diabetes medication, all your high cholesterol and gout and everything like that, right? But that's okay.
And you're pregnant, and hopefully, you know,
whatever's.
You better keep the kid, or else you're going to jail.
Whatever's. But then, and this is this. The problem is that this creates
women. And we're talking about women, because this is not something that for men, because these laws are not written to ostracize men, and this is one of those few instances where it's men versus women. It's not black men versus black women, white men versus white women.
No.
It's gender.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. It's crazy.
I know people that have had abortions and walked away with a greater charge of health and the trajectory of their life. I can't imagine where they would be had they had to take that to term. I can't imagine the quality of life and health that they would have if they had to take that to term. On top of the fact, one of these situations was not a consensual conception.
I was reading an article this morning. Minka Kelly, the actress, she discussed her, I think on Twitter, her abortion story when she was a teenager, and she basically said, well, I don't know if she was a teenager. She basically said she was younger, and she said it was the smartest decision I could have made, not only for myself, my boyfriend at the time, but also for this unborn fetus. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know. And then you look at the image of the men who made this decision, and you're like, this is supposed to be representation of the United States of America. This is who's representing us. And don't be fooled. Just because it happened in one state, this can be a domino effect.
That's how it always happens.
What were you gonna say?
I don't mean to bring another issue into it. I'm just making a comparison, so I apologize
and this
to whoever's
your
listening.
Reality ain't even though it's not talking about reality show. Yeah. It's kind of.
So when we say we need to regulate, not take away, regulate firearms and create smarter firearm laws and regulation. Government can't tell me what the F to do with my house, but you could tell me what to do with my body.
You know what's crazy is that we know people who are all about who support this law.
Because they're not thinking past the old well, you decide to do this, so you got to deal with your consequences. Yeah, but you know what? You're not thinking about that 11-year-old. You're not thinking about that 80-year-old, whoever it is. It's not consensual. It's not healthy. It's not a proper environment. There's
a
80
years old and you get pregnant.
Well, I mean,
I'm
just saying. I'm just using.
That's amazing.
Listen, shut up. You better keep it then. You better keep it then. But there's a whole host of things that it's not just I don't want to be responsible. It's not that. It's a greater issue. It could be a life-saving issue. And you're taking things away from someone. You can't. If I can't tell you what to do in your home, you definitely can't tell me what to do in my body. And the thing is, the government's in your home, period. You can't live off the grid. You get kicked out of the property that you own if you're not paying bills that the government collects taxes on. There's so many things you cannot do in your home. So you're going to tell me the government's regulating everything you do anyway. So how can you tell me what to do with my body on top of all of this?
You know how easy they sign a law They were elected.
But hearing aids, but hearing aids are not mandated to be covered by medical benefits. How is that not important? So the right to hear someone is not important either?
Doesn't make any money. There has to be. This cannot be based on simple religion. You know, it's the mindset that you could go, that you as a white male can go in there and make a decision. What are you making this decision based on? I don't understand.
My reproductive rights should be mine. I think about.
But why do you think that? Why do you think they made this decision? I don't understand. You know white people.
Honestly, I think it has to do with, so there's a large conservative Christian evangelical voting population that can swing certain votes. And I think if they're able to say to their constituents that they voted on X, Y, and Z, that's a blanket gathering of votes for them. I think, and also you have to understand, a man is not going to care. They don't hold a charge.
All men.
Not all men, because I don't hold a charge to this issue the way a woman would.
But I have to give a hand clap. There are some men who have posted on social media and excuse me, have in their own way spoke out. Like the last message that Diddy posted on Instagram, it was a series of, like, you know how like when you write on a chalkboard, he's saying the same phrase over like 50 times. He wrote, "Men shouldn't be making laws about women's bodies." He wrote it, like, he didn't write it, but he tweeted, or so that kind of thing. So it's like there's certain things that there's certain men that will stand up, but it's like it's not enough. It's not enough.
I want to give you a scenario. So an acquaintance of mine, friend of my boo, I want to say is 20 something, had a vasectomy with no issue. No 3 questions, right? No, are you sure? Are you sure? Sure. Went to his healthcare professional, said this is what he wanted, elected, did the date. Because I asked, I had a conversation. Wow, you didn't have an issue with this being this young? They didn't say wait or think about your family or whatever? They're like, absolutely not. I just said this is what it is. They told me who to call to schedule it, and then that's it. Interesting. I was having my 3rd son and questioned tubal ligation. And not only was I told no the first time the conversation was brought up, because what if something would happen to my family? Where would I go from there? What would I do? That's not the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is tubal ligation a possibility for me? That's what that was. So I think about all these things, and then I was asked so many times, but he wasn't. Interesting. I have the right to do with my body what I choose.
You get questioned as a woman. You're questioned about every little thing.
Every little thing. Like I'm not thought-filled or thoughtful or smart enough to make a decision for myself.
You don't know your own body. And this is you're not only questioned by male doctors. You're questioned by, like, my gynecologist questioned me when I went to her about something. I know my fucking body. I know my body. I've been in this body my whole life. I know my body. Okay?
Whole life.
So, and if I want to make a decision about my body, I should have the right.
Period. Point blank. No questions. End of story. That's it.
Anyway.
Well, Tamika?
Yeah.
I love you.
Love you too. But we're not done.
Oh.
Where can they catch us, Marissa?
Yep, yeah, yes, 18 on Instagram and Twitter.
You sound like annoyed by that. You said it perfunctorily.
Oh, no, I'm just annoyed by this whole topic.
I'm sorry. It's supposed to be about reality.
You ever see The Handmaid's Tale?
Handmaid's Tale.
Handmaiden.
I thought it was Handmaids.
I thought it was Handmaiden.
I'm Googling it now. Go ahead. What about it?
I fucking hope I'm right. I fucking hope I'm so right. So, yep, yeah, yes.
Handmaids.
The Handmaid's Tale?
Mm-hmm. You want to see it? The Handmaid's Tale.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're looking at me like I don't believe you.
No, I didn't do that look.
You're looking at me like that now. You're like, your mouth is ajar. Your eyes are going everywhere but where they should be. Like you're questioning.
No, I'm not questioning.
What are you thinking about?
I fucking hate you right now.
Okay.
So
that's a very powerful word. Like it's easy for you to roll with I hate you right now. You say that a lot to me.
Do I?
Yes, you say that a lot.
No.
Makes me question like what's really going on.
No, really?
I hate you right now. You always say,
oh my gosh.
You know what? You're Khalees.
I hate you so much right now. You know, for real, I'm desensitized to that word.
That word and a lot.
And a lot.
Hello, ghetto.
No, I've changed my mind on that word.
True.
So
anyway, so what about The Handmaid's Tale?
It has a lot to do with this sort of.
You have Hulu?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't gotten a chance. There's so much stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so hooked on reality TV. Their reality, my reality.
You need to watch this show. It's so good.
Yo, I'm sorry about this chair. It's like squeaking like crazy.
I kept looking at you before and I'm like, what are you doing?
This chair is like squeezing. It doesn't really squeak this much.
Never.
I don't know.
Are you like hitting the back of anything maybe?
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. It was up against a box.
Anyway. Yes 18, Instagram and Twitter. We're now on Facebook.
I was hoping you remember to mention that part.
Please like on all your social media, please.
Which ones are we highlighting today? Well, we highlight them every week. What am I talking about?
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Yep, yeah, yes 18. Instagram, Twitter. Yep, yeah, yes. Is it Yep, yeah, yes 18?
No, but I'm saying platforms. iTunes,
iTunes,
Google Play,
Podbean. Oh my gosh, why do I keep forgetting?
SoundCloud, but I just haven't updated it. It's got an old episode on there. We're everywhere. Wherever you can get podcasts.
Just please like and subscribe.
Although we're not on like the like Spotify or we ain't that big, but we'd like to be. So share.
Hey.
Rate, review.
Give it to the universe.
Yeah, whatever. We're just talking. It's a long show.
I want somebody to at me though.
At me, boo.
Let's have some conversations.
Holla.
I want to give a shout out to Lieutenant Colonel Awesome. Gave me a quick little phone call before we started to record and enlightened me on a few things. I appreciate that.
Good.
Hello, Morning Dew. What are you laughing at? Hello, Morning Dew. Hello, Gatto. Gatito. Froman. I hope you lives good.
And all of the new listeners, let us know who you are so that we can stop shouting out these people that, although we love them, we want to move on. We'd like to shout out other people. Okay?
You know what I'm saying? Holla.
Wait, you didn't say the other part. You started and then I cut you off.
Oh, yes. Yeah, see?
What? Go ahead, I want to know. What?
Homie.
Yes.
I love you.
Oh.
And homie?
Yes.
You're enough.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Mean it. Bye. Bye.